Hi, everyone. So today I would like to read out of this book, Presence Awareness by Sailor Bob Adamson. And why am I doing that? Because last week, Sailor Bob passed away. And I have to be honest with you, I'm still thinking about that every day for the last week and how this man completely changed my view on life, on who we are, what we're doing here. And he is one of, I would call one of my biggest mentors ever. So it was 2022 when my family and I were on a vacation in Spain, and my oldest daughter and I, we were reading the book, The Greatest Secret by Rhonda Byrne. And so in that book, Rhonda is featuring all kind of different teachers, but a lot of them in the non-duality space. And so Sailor Bob was one of them. And so on one morning, I woke up and I had this idea that I had to reach out to those teachers in that book. And I did. I wrote emails to a lot of those teachers. And Sailor Bob was the first one to react. Within 24 hours, I had an answer. And a couple of days later, we were on Skype and we were having a conversation, a non-duality pointing conversation. And we spoke for about 2 hours. And in that conversation, I felt shifts going on. I wasn't completely there, but he pointed me in certain directions that later on definitely helped when I had like more conversations. And then you guys that are following me, you know that I eventually had a conversation with David Bingham. And in that conversation, I could really see beyond. I could see my true nature, which was so amazing. And so, in honor of Bob, I just want to read out of this book. And this book is a compilation. I'll read you the preface. So the dialogues contained in this book are a testimony to Sailor Bob Adamson's wisdom and clarity in action. And this is John Wheeler speaking. John Wheeler, who is also an amazing human being. You can also see him on YouTube um, if you want to know more about him. So Bob's words always go straight to the heart of matter. They are an uncompromising and direct pointing to the fact of our own being. His words are filled with warmth, energy, clarity, and humor. His teaching is the essential message of non-duality presented in the most direct and clear terms. And that is so true. Bob is a rare treasure, absolutely. For years, he has been one of the best kept open secrets in the world of contemporary spirituality. Following the publication of his first book, What's Wrong with Right Now, Unless You Think About It, a growing number of seekers have been drawn to Sailor Bob Adamson and his message. You will not find a more profound pointing to your real nature than what is contained in these pages. And this was by John Wheeler in August 2004. So Sailor Bob and his wife Kat, they opened up their house every Sunday for people to come, and Bob would talk and he would point. And of course, I'm going to read what's in the back of the book. This is him. And it says, I'm not speaking to anybody. He would start every single a conversation that he had or when he was talking the same way. I'm not speaking to anybody. I'm not speaking to any mind. I'm speaking to that I am, to that presence awareness that expresses through the mind as the thought I am. Just this and nothing else. Just reading this is very expensive for me. It creates like an enormous amount of space. I can hardly contain it. So it's just amazing. And then I'm going to read for you chapter 7. What is realizing itself? That sense of presence expressing through the mind as the thought I am is pure intelligence energy. It is the knowing that you are. It is the activity of knowing. It is not the knower or the known, but that which you can't negate now, knowing. Knowing implies intelligence, doesn't it? And knowing is an actuality that is happening. It is an activity that is happening right in this instant. Any activity is a movement of energy. That activity of knowing is constantly there. The same intelligence energy is functioning this universe. There's nobody out there moving the earth around the sun, or making the seasons come and go, or keeping the galaxies in their orbits, or whatever they are doing. It implies that there is an intelligence there, doesn't it? This is one of the things that Bob made me see. There is nothing pulling the grass to make it grow faster. The grass just grows. The grass is just growing. And that was for me, that was my aha moment when he said that. It is so, again, expansive. That innate intelligence is the essence of everything that appears and disappears. But to the mind, it is no thing. It is no thing whatsoever. Look for yourself and try and see if you can negate it. Realizing that you are aware of presence right now, of being present. You know that you are. What did you have to do for that to happen? It spontaneously arises. It is constantly, spontaneously, always and ever arising. The vibration, pulsation, or throb of that intelligence is happening spontaneously. There is nothing to start it, nothing to stop it. Same thing. Nobody is pushing a button and saying, now the trees can blossom again. Winter is over. It is just like, it's just like unfolding. It is just happening spontaneously. So the question is, so there is nothing you have to do to settle down with it then? And Bob says, no. Realize there is no one to do it and nothing to do. And it will settle down on its own accord. If energy doesn't go into a thing, it won't live. It can't live. There will be no fixation on anything. There will be no reference point, nothing accepted, nothing rejected, nothing attached or detached, or detached from. These things will come up, but they won't last long. It is the very resistance to them, the trying to alter, modify, or correct what is, that causes the conflict. The resistance to them is conflict, and conflict is dis-ease. You can't practice non-resistance. You can say, I'm going to be non-resistance or attentive, but you can't be, because there is no you to do either. It is the recognition that is essential. The recognition that this is resistance, or this is inattention, must be from its opposite, from the point of non-resistance or the point of attention. In that very recognition, you are there in that instant. So it might only last a split second initially, but it will come up again and you will recognize it until you are constantly realizing these things, seeing these things. There will be times when you won't be, but you will know, the firm conviction will be there, that it is just like a cloud over the sky. No matter what is going on, that presence awareness is still there. The sun is still in the sky, no matter how many clouds are over it. Then the fixation is not going into trying to disperse the clouds or worry about the clouds. The understanding or the recognition that the sun being there is enough. If there is no trying to alter, modify, or correct the cloud is going to disperse on its own accord, because that energy is not being resisted. It is going to move on. with the conflict or the resistance, the energy or concept or whatever it is not being allowed to escape. So it is though in conflict with doubt always. That is the cause of all our problems. And it is just so beautiful. And I know this is very esoteric. And for me, if I would have heard that, I've read that like 10 years ago, it would have been like, what is he talking about? But if you take the time and you think about it, everything is just unfolding. Nature is unfolding. The sun is always there. The seasons come and go. Everything is just the way it is. And if you understand that, then you also understand that it is the trying to change that that is the conflict. So I leave you with this. And Bob, wherever you are, I hope you're really, really in a good place. And I know that we will definitely meet again because it's only an illusion. On the other hand, it was my honor to have that conversation with you. And I really hope that a lot of more people will listen to your wisdom and read your words because they point us in the direction of understanding that suffering is optional. Have a wonderful day, you guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.